think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Ladies and Gentiles, welcome to the Week 10 Recaparoo Heroes of Fantasy Football Edition. There's only a few weeks left. Action hot and heavy as teams jockey for possession. But first there was a trade. That's right, a little trade dizzle. And who else will pop off a trade besides Ricky G? There he goes for Phoenix Legacy. Takes a big home run swing, acquiring Jalen Waddle and Romeo Dubes for Kareem Hunt, DeAndre Hopkins, and Devin Singletary to That's So Ravens, Dwayne Rainey. Dwayne shaking it up. He needed these dudes because of bye weeks and injuries hitting his team. And Ricky G, the Chief, taking a swing on a home run hitter like Jalen Waddle, coming back to form to try and make that playoff push. And we'll see why as we see the standards and the action that went on this week. Without further ado, let's get right into action from Week 10. And what wasn't in action was Danny Boy. Oh, Danny Boy, things just are not going your way this year as you drop to 3-7 after losing to Jay Sizzle 99.4 to 72.3. Folks, a tough one. Jay says he gets a big dub. He needs to stay alive, sort of, at 4-6. Sam Howell doing everything he can to pretend like he's Justin Fields, scoring 24 ridiculous points. But despite all the trades and the swaparoos, Danny Boy's dudes just still aren't getting it done. The namesake Taylor Swift, because of buys, still not in action. And the Dairy Leaks just putting the hurt on, mainly with a big 24-piece from Hawkinsauce and getting Jay Sizzle across that finish line. 99 points, good enough for Jay Sexy, that fourth win of the year. Congratulations. And then congratulations goes even more to Ricky G, pulling off another trade, record number of trades this year. It's got to be at this point. He's almost traded with every team. We'll see if he can do it. I don't think so, but maybe as he mollywops Tyree Dean way down in the hole. Tyree just on a big LL feast, just being called out by yours truly. Only put up 80 points to Ricky G's $124. Oh, he hung quite the L on Tyree. Tyree going to 4-6. Ricky G going to 7-3. And talking about these trades that he's been slinging and wheeling and dealing. Who's been on his team? He had Dubes dropping the doobie for 10 here. This is before he bunted him. But, he's getting the job done. Keenan Allen, the same dudes. Tyler Lockett acquired in a trade, of course, with 19. And the tight end Westboro continues with a big 13. He acquired Waddle when he's on bye, and that's how the magic happens, and Herbert gets him across the finish line. What can I say? Meanwhile, besides CeeDee Lamb, Tyree's got nothing doing. Everyone else just dropping a little poo pile. Some dudes on bye. We'll see if Tyree can put something together here. But his team, the wheels have fully come off now. 4-6. Tyree was at the top of the mountain and has tumbled all the way down. But who is not tumbling? The battle between two folks with hopes and dreams to finally get in there and get that fantasy glory back. Aldo trying to reclaim fantasy glory. Matt tasting it for the first time. And Big Aldo putting a tough L on Matt, winning by only 2, 92.3 to 90.1 as Aldo goes to 7-3, and Matt J. Segovia, tough L, going to 6-4. Jamar Gibbs, a 24-piece. Joey Burrow, 19. I mean, Matt, he was doing what he could, but just not quite enough. And Aldo got that dub across the board. Nothing crazy popping off on Aldo's board, just a lot of consistent play despite having 5 dudes on bye. Aldo still scored 92. Pretty impressive without his his big dog, Patrick Mahomes, and A.J. Brown, some heavy hitters here on bye, but although still gets a huge dub in a clutch week. And talk about huge dubs, Zachariah keeping playoff hopes alive. We'll see where he's at in the standings, but he goes to 4-6 with a big dub over that B-hooch Adrian, who's now hexed and jinxed to the moon for what he did to Danny Boy. Hill's a cheat code, all right, dropping to 5-5, only scoring 78 to that $110 from Zachariah. Hurts so good, not this week because he's on a bye. Zach with almost his entire bench on a bye to play Geno Sizzling Smith for 24 points. He didn't even miss Jalen Hurts, boy. And Brian Robinson pulling up big with also a 24 piece. Brock Purdy, though, on the other side, 23. But, Adrian continues not to have running backs. Jamar Chase popped off for his huge. But shocker, Tyreek Hill's on a bye, and Adrian can't score over 80. Weird. So here we are with a big L, dropping Adrian to 5-5, folks. And speaking about weird, another L for Steven Naramore. I don't know how he won a game. Now he's back. He's at 1-9, only scored 80. The dub going to Alfredo, who's keeping those playoff dreams. He's streaking, boy. Barksdale organization dropped a $121, hung it on him like that heavy burden of that championship he so carries, Steven Naramore. Amon St. Ra doing the dirty with 26 and some just solid performances across the board with that Browns D with 14. You love to see the Ds being big and stepping up. Speaking of that, Steven didn't trust the process when he played the Packers against Pittsburgh, who only scored a point. And he didn't trust them 49ers against the Jags, who scored 21 from his bench. If I math better, he still loses by 20. But still, it's the heart of the matter. The heart of the fantasy cards, not in Naramore's favor. Poor Steven goes to 1-9 maybe next year, buddy. You always do Redemption Bowl. You got to win that. Maybe you'll prove that this isn't a fluke last year, but I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we're back. A little snafu with the recording devices, as in it just stopped. So we had to restart on the recording right here. Anyway, so Professor Ito, C Jizzle, 96-87. CJ going to 8-2. Professor Ito dropping to 5-5 in this game. Let me tell you, way closer than that score makes it look, because this came down to Monday night. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs had the love gone to Diggs instead of Josh Allen running it in himself. Score looks super different, let me tell you. And speaking of that, Buffalo booted that game on Monday. Let me tell you, Stephon Diggs booted this one, only scoring 4.9 for Oscar Ito. Just can't trust Diggs, man.
What the? I think Josh is holding me back again.
Hello, Stephon Diggs. For years, you've angrily thrown tablets. But today, the tablet is going to throw you. You have 5 seconds to simply say, I do not blame anyone else for my problems. Clock starts now.
I do not. I can't do it. Throw me.
Davin, what guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy.
At least I should date my sister Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents, so therefore she can't date him.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister? And I might add, you're starting to be the runaway favorite for this.
Would nobody want me to date this sister? I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Feel differently about me?
Yeah.
They just don't know me well enough. That's what it is. Just a appearance. All right, who don't I want to date my sister?
Adrian? Why Adrian?
Because he's ugly.
But anyway, Professor Ito hanging in there at 5-5. We'll see where he's at in the standaroos as C Jizzle continues to ride atop the mountain. And one more man that rides atop the mountain. Oh, Jose L. I don't know how he does it anymore. $118 beating Dwayne Rainey's 88. Dwayne pulling off those trades. It just wasn't enough as he drops to 3-7. L goes to 8-2, just like C Jizzle and Dwayne getting 17 from the Colts, 22 from newly acquired Devin Singletary. I mean, the trades technically worked. DeAndre Hopkins only scored 4. I mean, that's not helping him. But, better than Waddle's buy. Let's put it that way. So Dwayne got some juice out of the trade, but not enough from the squeeze, if you know what I mean. Mainly because Obi-Wan Mahomey shows his real colors and says, them boys gonna ride, as he drops 37.8 from Dak Prescott. This man does not miss Patrick Mahomes at all. It might be time to update your team name to Obi-Wan Dak Homie. You know what I mean? Anyhow, so congratulations there to Al, as he's finishing strong here, folks. Only a few weeks left as we look at the Standaroos. C Jizzle, Al, top of the mountain, 8-2s, folks. And then gets a little bit tighter. Phoenix Legacy, 7-3. Aldo, 7-3. That's your playoffs if it started today, Jack. But can someone break in? That person will be the person who took an L to Aldo, Matt Segovia. That L, huge this last week. We'll see what happens going this week. This is a massive, massive moment here. Meanwhile, these 5-5s still in it to win it, baby. You never know. There's 3 weeks left. Professor Ito Alfredo, after his tough year he's had, has scraped it back together. Opposite stories there. Professor Ito had some tough weeks. Freddie, oh God. You know what that was? That tasted like Adrian's betrayal, as he sits at 5-5 as well. That son of a bitch. Anywho, Jay Sizzle at 4-6, Zach at 4-6, Tyrese B-Hooch ass at 4-6, all with a 1% chance to still make the playoffs and officially eliminated. Finally, Danny Boy and Dwayne Rainey. That's right. That's so Ravens and Taylor Swift out of here into the Redemption Bowl with Steven Naramore, trusting the process at 1-9. Tough time. Keep it going. Remember, get your stuff into the Professor Ito, doing your picks for the week and all his hoodan and shenanigans, because those points are going to be used in the Redemption Bowl. It's going to be a ton of fun for all us shitty-ass teams. Believe it. Meanwhile, if you're at the top, fuck you. And everyone else, keep trading. Ricky G's got to trade with only a few more teams. Let's make it happen, folks. Let's live the dream, honestly. Because what's not better than a trade gone bad? And if he doesn't have trades, maybe he'll, who knows? I don't even know. I don't even know if he can keep track of who the hell is on his team anymore, honestly. But for now, dicks out, baby.